shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Here's Cook again. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. The Bills at 4-5, a game under 500. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Allen. Into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Allen going to throw. And it's caught. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Keon Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete. It's Malachi Corley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A 1st carry for Tyler Algier. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. A tackle made by Dorian Williams. But you look at this defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
He's got room at the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now a 2nd and 2. That one taken in by Corley. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run with Hall. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Second and goal from the 1. One more time with Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal. Slot man moves right. There's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Hall up the middle. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone ahead and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Give them 6 points going the other way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. You look at this Buffalo defense. They played extremely well last week, in that win over the Packers.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And he's got his man on the out route. Down the right sideline. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tyler Bass now for the point after. And it is now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, for incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Second and 5. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll find Hall. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They'll give to Hall. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Algier going straight ahead. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And they'll get this down to the 10. On first and 10, it's Hall. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Second and 6. This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall from 6 yards away. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. He's across midfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
To the air, Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Allen to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. McPherson now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he will find his man on the outside. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Allen now looks to throw. This to the tight end, Kincaid. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Bills would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
And able to get this out to the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Oh, that held up there a long time, but it falls innocently and incomplete.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half. With a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Algier now up the middle, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the... Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. Put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. They'll look to throw now on first down.
This completes a Corley.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. He's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Down to about the 22 here. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 11. And his throw here is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. The slot man in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. In motion comes the tight end left. Throwing now is Allen. Coleman has it here right side. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. But that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Here's Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
A first down carry for Davis. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. There on the stop was Leo Chanel.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And we have an injury on the play, and it looks like the running back, James Cook, is the one who's down. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Coleman, the man in motion right. They go back to the ground now with Davis. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, yeah. Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll look to throw here.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Now inside the 25.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
To throw, it's Allen. His pass caught at the 4.
And the Bills are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Davis is in. Touchdown, Bills.
And we know they don't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now in Buffalo. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. He'll look to throw. And a completion to Wilson. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up a throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Inside the 20.
And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down. They'll have to throw it anyway.
They'll roll him out right.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 4. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
There's Hall bringing in another one.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Algier will try to pick it up.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Tyler Algier with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit.
They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bills are going to recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Yeah, he'll find Hall. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. They'll try and throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bills are going to recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. To the air, Allen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Jets are right back in this football game. And now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
That one taken in by Corley.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Back to throw here.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Here's 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, giving different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Bills are going to win the football game. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to